Quick question. When you call fetch in a TypeScript app, what type does the response data have? If you said any, you're right, and that's a problem. It means TypeScript is doing absolutely nothing to protect you from your own API. In this video, I'll show you how to type your API responses properly, build a reusable generic fetch wrapper, and handle loading, error, and success states the right way, so you never have to guess what your data looks like again. Last video we covered useEffect and refs. Today we're using useEffect for exactly what it's built for, fetching data, but doing it in a way TypeScript actually understands. 1. The problem. Fetch returns any. Step 1. Plain fetch, no types. useEffect div, fetch app user 1, then res.json, then data, console.log, data.nma, typo, no error, Exer, res.json returns promise any. That means data is any. TypeScript has completely switched off for this object. Look, I misspelled name as nma right here and TypeScript says nothing at all. This bug only shows up when you run the app and see undefined on screen. 2. Defining a response interface. Step 1. Describe the shape of the real response interface. User, ID number, name string, email string. Step 2. Tell TypeScript what fetch is actually returning. useEffect, fetch app user 1, then res.json, then data, user, console.log data.nma. Property nma does not exist on type user. By annotating the resolved value as user, TypeScript now checks every property access against that shape. The same typo that slipped through before is caught instantly. Mention in passing. Where do you get the shape for this interface? From your API docs, from the backend team, or by pasting a sample JSON response into a tool like QuickType to generate it automatically? Link in the description. 3. Why fetch always returns any. Ever wonder why fetch in TypeScript gives you any for your response data? It's not a bug. TypeScript genuinely cannot know what your server sends back. Res.json could return literally anything. An object, an array, a number. That's why it's typed as promise any by design. Your job is to tell TypeScript the real shape yourself, either by annotating the resolved value, or better, using a generic fetch wrapper that does it for you every time. 4. Building a generic fetch wrapper. Step 1. Write it once with a generic type parameter. Async function fetchJSON, t, URL string. Const res is await fetch URL. If not res.ok, use header, request failed, res.status. Return res.json as promise t. The t here is a placeholder type. Think of it as a blank you fill in each time you call the function. We tell fetch to throw if the response isn't okay, so failed requests don't silently pretend to succeed. Step 2. Use it anywhere, fully typed. Fetch JSON user, app user 1, then user, console.log username, fully typed, autocomplete works. Reuse the same function for a completely different shape. Fetch JSON product episode, then products, console.log products.price, typed as product episode. This is the real power of generics. One function reused for every endpoint in your app, and TypeScript infers the correct shape every single time based on what you pass into the angle brackets. 5. Handling loading, error, and success states. Step 1. The problem. 3 loose booleans values that can lie to each other. Tempting but flawed approach. Const is loading, set is loading, equals useState true. Const error, set error, equals useState string or null. Const data, set data, equals useState user or null. Nothing stops an impossible state like this. Is loading equals true, and data equals ... and error equals failed. All 3 true at once. Which one do you trust? Each of these is technically valid on its own, but together they can contradict each other. You can end up rendering a loading spinner, and an error, and data, all at the same time, because nothing ties them together. Step 2. Fix it with a single discriminated union state type. Request state t equals status loading, y, status error, message string, equals set data. Function use user ID, const h equals, useState request state user, status loading. useEffect to go, set status loading, fetch JSON user, API user, etc. ID, from time and juck, or catch error akin, set data equals message. Now there's exactly one status at a time, never a contradiction. And this is where it gets really nice in your component. Step 3, rendering it. TypeScript narrows automatically. Function user profile, ID, number. Const state tos is loading. If state.status is loading, return spinner. If state.status equals error, return P. Note, here TypeScript knows state.status is success, so state.data exists. No optional chaining needed. Return h2.state.data.name. No.data. This is the same trick from the card component a few videos back. Check the status field, and TypeScript automatically narrows the rest of the object. No data.name, no data.name, just state.data.name, safely. 6. Loading error success as one type. Stop using 3 separate useState calls for loading, error, and data. Combine them into one discriminated union instead. Status loading, error, success, with each variant carrying only the fields that actually make sense for it. You'll never render a loading spinner and an error message at the same time again, and TypeScript will automatically narrow your data for you the moment you check the status. 7. Recap. So today, we stopped trusting fetch as any, defined a real response interface, built a reusable generic fetchJSON function, and combined loading, error, and success into one safe discriminated union. Next video, we're wrapping all of this into a proper custom hook, useFetchT, so you never have to write this useEffect boilerplate again. If this helped, like, share, comment, and subscribe.